and welcome to Au Bleu Air, a Learn English radio series from the British Council. I'm Joan Walker.
And I'm David Evans.
And in this series we aim to improve your English language skills with the help of a drama about a budget airline.
And today we come to the final episode in our story, The Crate.
A prisoner who escaped from Freeport City Jail has been recognised by Muzz at the hospital. Here's what happened when he tried to get some more information about him from a nurse.
That man, the man with the blood on his face, where is he?
It's none of your business.
Please, you've got to tell me. He's wanted by the police.
I've heard quite enough nonsense from you for one day.
But it's true. He's called Ozzy something and he escaped from Freeport Jail just 2 days ago. Don't you remember? The siren? All the roadblocks in the city centre. They were all because of him.
No.
I promise you. And there's no time to lose. Please tell me where he is.
In the next scene, we join Pavi, the captain, and Officer Peterson as they drive towards Freeport City Hospital in a police car. The scene starts with the officer asking Pavi,
"Are you feeling okay, miss?"
The captain then notices someone in the middle of the street. He says,
"Officer, can you stop for a moment?"
And as you listen, answer these questions. Who has the captain seen? What does the officer tell this person to do? And what does the officer do at the end of the scene? Let's listen and find out.
Right, we're nearly there. Are you feeling okay, miss?
I'm absolutely fine, really.
Look, isn't that Muzz?
Where?
There, just up ahead.
Yes, it is him. Why is he running down the middle of the road?
Officer, can you stop for a moment? Muzz? Muzz! What are you doing?
Oh, Captain, it's you.
What are you doing, Muzz?
The man, the escaped criminal. I saw him at the hospital. Kenji brought him in all covered in blood.
Kenji brought him in? What are you talking about?
Oh, never mind. Anyway, he's just left. A few minutes ago. He went across the car park.
Excuse me, young man. Are you talking about Oswald Skinner, the escaped convict?
Yes, the man whose picture you showed me.
And you say he was here?
Just a few minutes ago.
Are you sure?
Absolutely certain.
Oh, and he was on foot?
Yes.
Well, he can't have gone far. Quick, get in! This is Officer Peterson to all officers. Escaped convict Oswald Skinner has been spotted in the vicinity of Freeport City Hospital. I repeat, escaped convict Oswald Skinner has been spotted in the vicinity of Freeport City Hospital.
So who has the captain seen in the middle of the road? He says,
"Isn't that Muzz?"
Of course it is Muzz, who quickly tells them what has happened at the hospital. The officer checks the facts and then says,
"Well, he can't have gone far."
Then he tells Muzz to get in the car before making an announcement on the police radio.
Escaped convict Oswald Skinner has been spotted in the vicinity of Freeport City Hospital.
So it looks like the police are going to catch Ozzy Skinner after all.
You're listening to Au Bleu Air, a Learn English radio series brought to you by the British Council.
The next scene takes place the following day at the Au Bleu Air office. Officer Peterson says to everybody,
"The Freeport Police Department would like to say a big thank you to all of you at Au Bleu Air."
He goes on,
"You should be proud of your staff, Captain."
We then learn what has happened to Ozzy Skinner, the escaped convict. So where is he now? The officer also has some words for Vinny. He says,
"There is one person here in this office who has some explaining to do. Mr. Chambers. Mr. Vincent Chambers."
And what does Officer Peterson ask Vinny to do? Also, one more question. What surprise do the others have for Vinny? Let's find out. Here's the scene.
Well, the Freeport Police Department would like to say a big thank you to all of you at Au Bleu Air. Pavi, Muzz, you both did a great job.
Thank you, officer.
You should be proud of your staff, Captain.
Oh, I am, officer.
And thank you too, Kenji.
Oh, not at all.
Because of you, Oswald Skinner is back where he belongs, behind bars in the Freeport City Jail.
And let's hope he stays there for a good long time.
Don't worry about that, miss. He'll be an old man by the time he comes out, I promise you. However, there is one person here in this office who has some explaining to do. Mr. Chambers. Mr. Vincent Chambers.
Me?
Yes, Mr. Chambers. So far this week, you have been responsible for attempting to export a vicious dog and an escaped convict, both of which may be criminal offences.
It was all a misunderstanding, officer. I can explain everything.
Well, you can, Mr. Chambers, because I would like to interview you at the Freeport Central Police Station at 3 o'clock this afternoon. I hope that won't be inconvenient for you.
No, of course not, officer. I'll see you then.
Excellent!
Oh, and, Vinny, one other thing.
Yes?
We brought something back from London for you.
Really? For me?
Bring him in, Muzz.
Come on, Vicious.
What? What's he doing here?
There was something wrong with his documents, so when we got to London, they wouldn't let him in.
So we had to bring him all the way back again.
And we can't keep him here at the office because he scares the customers.
So someone needs to find him a good home.
And that's your job, Vinny.
What? Me? You're joking. Maybe the air freight business wasn't such a good idea after all.
So where is the escaped convict now? The officer says,
Oswald Skinner is back where he belongs, behind bars in the Freeport City Jail.
Pavy says she hopes he stays there for a long time, and the officer reassures her.
He'll be an old man by the time he comes out, I promise you.
The officer then turns to Vinny and says,
So far this week, you have been responsible for attempting to export a vicious dog and an escaped convict, both of which may be criminal offences.
Vinny says,
It was all a misunderstanding, officer. I can explain everything.
And what does the officer then ask Vinny to do? He says,
I would like to interview you at the Freeport Central Police Station at 3 o'clock this afternoon.
And the others have another surprise for Vinny.
Vicious the dog.
Yes, they explain that they had to bring the dog back from London because his documents weren't in order. And, as Pavy says,
We can't keep him here at the office because he scares the customers.
The captain adds,
So someone needs to find him a good home.
and Muzz concludes,
And that's your job, Vinny.
and so the story ends with Vinny saying to himself,
Maybe the air freight business wasn't such a good idea after all.
This is Obla Air, a Learn English radio series brought to you by the British Council. And don't forget that you can find more resources to help you learn English at learnenglish.britishcouncil.org.
That's learnenglish.britishcouncil.org.
And before we go, let's remind you of some of the key moments in the second half of our Obla Air story, The Crate. We heard how Pavy found the escaped convict, Ozzy Skinner, hiding inside a crate at the Obla Air office.
Right, let's check. Door. Windows. Yes. 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 Back door. Just a moment. What was that? Hello? Is somebody there?
In the crate. I'm in the crate. Can't you let me out?
You're in the crate? What on earth are you doing in there?
Please, don't let me out.
Okay, just a moment. Oh. All right. I'm trying as hard as I can. we are. Oh, are you okay?
And we then heard how Ozzy shut Pavy in the crate before escaping from the office through a window.
Help! Help!
But if you can't keep your mouth shut, I'm going to have to shut it for you.
Help!
I've warned you.
No, please.
It won't hurt.
No, help! Help!
Can you breathe? Right. Let's get you in here. Look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. Just get in that crate. And don't you dare move. I said... Right. You stay there and keep nice and quiet. Do you understand?
Ozzy was then picked up by Kenji in his taxi. Kenji noticed that his face was covered in blood and decided to take him to the hospital.
Take me to Salters Point.
Did you say Salters Point? I don't often get asked to go there. I said I don't often get asked to go to Salters Point.
Yeah, just drive.
Excuse me? I hope you don't mind me saying, but you've got something on your face.
Look, mister, I'm not interested. I said, just drive.
Just a moment.
Hey! What are you doing?
Look at you. You're covered in blood. You've got blood on your face, on your shirt. What's happened to you? I think I'd better take you straight to the hospital.
And in the last programme, Muzz recognised Ozzy from his picture on the wanted poster.
But how can you be sure? His face was all covered in blood.
No, it was definitely him. I remember him from the poster. He was called Oswald or Ozzy or something. Not to be approached under any circumstances. That was him.
Really?
Definitely.
But he seemed all right to me.
Don't be ridiculous, Kenji. He's the most wanted man in Freeport.
So what should we do?
I'm going to go and find him.
Oh, come on. This hospital is huge. And you just said he was not to be approached under any circumstances.
Kenji, these circumstances are exceptional.
But Muzz!
And as we heard today, thanks to Muzz's efforts, the Freeport Police Department were able to capture Ozzy Skinner and put him back where he belongs, behind bars. Now here's a chance to hear a part of today's drama again.
Well, the Freeport Police Department would like to say a big thank you to all of you at Obler Air. Pavy, Muzz, you both did a great job.
Thank you, officer.
You should be proud of your staff, Captain.
Oh, I am, officer.
And thank you too, Kenji.
Oh, not at all.
Because of you, Oswald Skinner is back where he belongs, behind bars in the Freeport City Jail.
And let's hope he stays there for a good long time.
Don't worry about that, miss. He'll be an old man by the time he comes out, I promise you. However, there is one person here in this office who has some explaining to do. Mr. Chambers. Mr. Vincent Chambers.
Me?
Yes, Mr. Chambers. So far this week, you have been responsible for attempting to export a vicious dog and an escaped convict.
And that's all from us for today. You've been listening to Obler Air, a Learn English radio series, brought to you by the British Council. And remember that you can find a range of resources for improving your English at learnenglish.britishcouncil.org. Join us again next time when we begin a brand new Obler Air story. But until then, from David Evans and from me, Joan Walker,
Goodbye.
Goodbye.